Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today in this video we will gonna see how to create a WebGIS application using Openlayers front-end API and Postgres database only. So we'll not be using any GIS server such as Geoserver or map server. So we'll be using only two components. One is database for storing the data and Openlayers front-end API for rendering our data onto the web. And of course we'll use a web server for serving our applications such as Tomcat, and we'll do some kind of backend programming. So like in my earlier video, I have used Geoserver, Postgres database and Openlayers, all the these three things for developing a WebGIS application. So Geoserver always work as a middleware in between your data and front-end API. So you put your data inside the Geoserver and then you leverage and use the WMS or WFS service of the Geoserver to put your basically data onto the web using the front-end API. So here we will remove the Geoserver and directly we will fetch the data from the database onto our web page or HTML page. So what we'll do, basically we have to do some we need to do some kind of backend programming, such as I will be using Java server pages. You can use PHP also, that depends on person to person. So we'll use JSP Java server pages for basically parsing the data from the database in GeoJSON format, or maybe you can parse it to GML format and then you can render onto the map. So we'll do some kind of Java server basically backend programming. So the first of all we'll see these are the components which we're going to use, such as first one is the Tomcat web server for serving our application, and also Java server pages will run inside the Tomcat. And second one is basically Postgres database. Postgres is the database and Postgis is the extension of the Postgres database for storing the geographic data such as your shapefile and all. And this is the Openlayers front-end API for basically showing your data onto the web. We'll use the Openlayers. You can use leaflet also if you're more comfortable in the leaflet. There is no difference. This is only just to render the data such as GeoJSON or GML data. And this Chart.js is for basically for showing the data in the chart format, like as you can see on the screen. We'll see how to develop a COVID kind of application, and these graphs also will develop. So we'll use Chart.js API. Then jQuery and Bootstrap also. Bootstrap is nothing. Bootstrap is basically just to make your website more responsive, such as these buttons and all. These buttons and all are using Bootstrap. So basically more stylish. You are making more responsive and more stylish website. If you do not use Bootstrap also, doesn't matter. These values come, but you have to then give some styling to it. You have to create style for that, some CSS styling. And jQuery is also for basically making more responsive, or basically this is also free API, JavaScript API. Okay, feature is JavaScript library. It makes your HTML documents, event handling and animation very easy. So this is also free and open source available. So all the APIs and everything which is being used here is open source. And finally we'll do some kind of backend programming, such as Java server pages we'll use. You can use PHP also. What we'll do, basically we are using this Java server pages, we'll parse the data inside the database in GeoJSON or JSON format. GeoJSON for this map kind of data, as you can see here. Here this data is basically in the GeoJSON format, and this data is coming as in JSON format. So GeoJSON is just an extension of JSON format. So we'll use backend, we'll use Java server pages for parsing the data in these GeoJSON and JSON format. So first of all, let me show you how our application looks like. What are the components? So here this is the COVID data. This I have downloaded from the internet. That is also already available freely onto the internet. I think our data, our world in data or something, our data in world something kind of website is there. From there I have downloaded the CSV file. So it's a time series data, country level data for whole world. So like this is the to date, start date and end date, and these are the parameters: confirm case, death, test, vaccination. These are the counters, these are the graphs. So right now what it is showing, this map is showing between 1/1/2022 31/7/2021 confirmed cases. If I change to deaths, so this map will update and this graph will also update, as you can see. And now you can see this map has been updated, this legend has been updated, and this graph is also has been updated, like deaths are there right now. If you make it test, so now this legend will also update as our layer is loaded, and this graph has been updated. And similarly, if you change the date, suppose I change the date to something like from March 2nd, so this graph and everything will change. And here, let me confirm test. So this counters will also change, this map will change, this graph is also changed. You can see this counter will also update depending upon this date and parameters. So this is the COVID cases between these to this date, and you can, of course, you can change the base map from satellite to OSM. And these are the graphs, and if you hover it over the graph, you can see the particular day. This is the daily cases, this is the cumulative cases up to that date. So two kind of graph. You can create multiple graphs. This is just an example for that. And also there is one more thing. If you click on any country, so what it will do, the graph will update according to the country. Like right now this data is for India country only. Like if I select this USA, so data will be updated for USA. This is Brazil, data will update for Brazil. If I select India, data will update for India. And also in pop-up it will show the COVID cases. Whatever parameter you select, it will show that. Like for Australia, if you see, let me go for this, Indonesia. So we'll see how to develop this kind of application. So first of all, one by one, we'll download and install these whatever the software is required. So first of all, Tomcat web server, what we'll do, we'll go on Google and type Tomcat, and you can download this Tomcat version 9 or version 10. I have already downloaded the Tomcat version 9. You can download 10 also. So here if you go, you can find this 3264-bit installer, Windows Service Installer. So I have already downloaded it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna directly install this. This is the Apache Tomcat. So this is our web server in which we'll be serving our application. We'll go for next. So here, like port by default it will take 8080, but I have already 3-4 instances of Tomcat, so I will make it 8085 and just give any username, password. Let me just change this name, which is saying already it has been installed, because I have installed several instances of Tomcat. That's why it's saying already the name of the service has been installed with the same name. That's why I've changed it. In your case, it will not happen, because if you are installing the first time or the first instances, so it will not be a problem. So it will hardly take 1 or 2 minutes to install the Tomcat. So now you can check this run Apache Tomcat. So it will start the service also after installing. Now it is starting the service. So now we will check after starting whether our Tomcat has been installed. Just go on browser, type localhost 8085 and enter it. So here I think this is the service has been started. So if you are able to see on localhost 8085, in your case this port number may be different, it doesn't matter, you should be able to see this page. It means you have successfully installed the Tomcat. So now we'll move it to the next component, our database. So I will not show how to install this database, because already if you in the earlier video I have uploaded a video called WebGIS development from the scratch. In this one of the chapter I have shown how to, from where to download this database and how to install the Postgres database, and then how to install the PostGIS extension. So you can go through, I will give the link in the description of that video. So you can go through that video and you can install the Postgres and PostGIS database. Just very quickly, I'll show you from where you can download this. If you go on Google and type Postgres database, so just go on the downloads directly here and just go for the Windows installer. Here, this is the option for Windows, and download the installer. You click on download the installer. You can download the different version. So you can, I have installed 13 version. You can go for the latest one like this. Download this and just make next. It will ask you the few things: username, password for accessing the database. Give any username, password. It will ask you for the port. 5432 is the default port. You can change it if you have already installed database on that port. Otherwise, let it be 5432 and just finish it. And after finishing it, what it will do, it will ask whether you want to open a stack builder. Basically, in the stack builder, further extension of the Postgres are available. So you just click yes, open stack builder, and in the stack builder just select the special extension PostGIS. So it will download the PostGIS and then install the PostGIS also. So no need to separately download the PostGIS. And also, while installing the PostGIS extension, it will ask you to create a basically a sample PostGIS database. So you can select yes for that while installing the PostGIS also. Okay, otherwise, after installing this, you can download PostGIS. You can type on Google and type PostGIS, and you can download the Postgres from Postgres website. So, but no need of doing that. When you finish installing the Postgres, it will ask for the run the stack builder, and then you can, from the stack builder, you can install the special extension of PostgreSQL. Otherwise, from here also you can download the PostGIS extension. You can go on the download here. There will be option for the Windows. So here, Windows download. So you can download from here and you can install. So I think you can install it, and when you install it, you just go on search. After installing, just type pg admin. Okay, then you can open this pgadmin 4 version 5 I have installed. So after that, you should be able to see this kind of window. Now click on the server, and I have already installed 3 different versions, so I will go for the latest one. Just double click to that. It will ask you the password. This is the same password which you have given while installing the Postgres database. Just click OK. So now, as you have after installing a database, we will create a new database. Let me delete one of the database, then we'll create a new one. Like I have already created COVID database, but I will show you how to create a new database. So let me first show you what is the data which we will gonna upload in the database. I think here it is. This is, I think, yeah, this is the, so we will be uploading the shapefile, and our time series database. So this is the database. This is the COVID data time series data which I have downloaded from the open source website. I think our data, our world in data, this kind of some kind of website was there. So this is the time series data I downloaded from there. Continent, country, this is the date, total cases, daily cases. Total cases means up to that date, what is the cumulative number of cases. Daily cases means on that particular day. Then similarly, total death, daily death, daily test, total test, positivity, total vaccination, daily vaccination. So all these field. So this is the time series data. I think lakhs, around 1 lakh entries are there. So this is only a simple data. There is no geographic data in this, but the geographic data is this is our basically shapefile. So I'll show you how our shapefile looks. This is nothing, just a boundary of the world for each and every country. So now you can see this is the, so what I have done basically in this, the name of each country is similar. This name of each country is similar to this field. So while running the query in the database, we will join the data based on this field only. Okay, so this is the data we have. I'll just remove this data. And also, when you install the PostGIS, so after that you will be able to see, if you type on PostGIS, so this GUI will be installed on your PC, PostGIS shapefile and DBF loader. So if you click here, so now you can load your shapefile, geographic data, and also DBF files. Means if you have any data in Excel or CSV file, you can upload that to this using this loader. So for that, one more step which I did, basically the CSV data for converting into DBF, there is open source free software is there, Apache OpenOffice. This is the free software. If you go on Google, type OpenOffice, it's a very small software, you can download it. It's just like a Microsoft Word. So it has document also, Excel also. So we'll convert the CSV to DBF file using this. So here's option text document. So just click on the spreadsheet. So like, as you can see, this is the spreadsheet. So just drag your CSV file or your Excel file here. Just give the, it is CSV file, so it is separated by comma. Just make it okay. Okay, read only, because I have already opened, that's why it's showing read only. Otherwise you can open it. So now as you can see, this is the data. Now if you go on the file, save as, so you will get the option to save the data in the various different formats, and you can select the DBF file here. This is the .dbf file, so you can save this file in the DBF. I have already saved it, so I will not do that again. This is the DBF file and this is the shapefile. So these two things we will upload in the database. So for that, as I already told you, after installing the Postgres and PostGIS extension, you just type on PostGIS here. So this is the shapefile and DBF loader. Just open it. Just you have to make a connection. First, view connection detail. You have to give the username, which is postgres, and password is the same which you have given while installing the Postgres database. This is the localhost. This is the port number which you have given while installing the database. I have given 5433. In your case, you must have given 5432 by default, and then you have to give the database name. So for that, before we'll create a new database here. Just create new database here. Right click over database and give the name. I will give COVID1, and then definition, just give template. This is the PostGIS sample. If you, while installing the PostGIS extension, it will ask you to create a sample database. So if you checked it yes, then this you will be able to see this sample database, and you can select, because we are creating a special database, that's why we have to select template PostGIS. If you have not done that, there is no issue. After creating a database, you can run a simple query. I'll show you. Create extension PostGIS, then also it will make it a special enable. Table space PG default, and just save it. So now it will create a new database called COVID1. And if you have selected this template, so it will be a special database. But if not, you have not selected the template of PostGIS, doesn't matter. You can run a query after. I'll show you. Yes, this is the COVID1 database. Right now, if you can, one more thing you can do to make it specially enable, right click, just run query tool, and here it is. Just write create extension PostGIS, and if you just click here, run this query. So now it is shown extension PostGIS already exists, because I have, while creating database, I have selected the template database of PostGIS. That's why it is showing. Otherwise, it must have created this again. So I will close this. So now you have special database. Now what we'll do, I'll show you how to upload the data. So here in this connection, as you have given Postgres, the database you have given, the local host is the server, then port number which you have given while installing the database. Now you give the database name COVID1. This is the database which you have created. Just make it okay. So now it has shown connection successful. Now here add file. Go to the folder. First we will upload the shapefile. This is the shapefile, and you just make it open, and here SRID means this is the coordinate system. EPSG code 4326 is there. This can be different for your case, whatever projection you are using, coordinate system you are using. And this is the geometry column, whatever name you want to give. I will let it be GOEM only, because this is by default. This is a geometry column, it will add. And just you click import. So now it will import. Shapefile import completed. Just remove it. Now we will import the DBF file. For that, one thing you have to do, go into the option here, just select this load only attribute data, because now we will gonna upload DBF file which is having only attribute data. There is no geographic data, no, basically a geometry column. And yeah, I think that's it. Okay, now again gonna add file here. Just select DBF and select world COVID data DBF, open, and just import it. So now you have your geographic data also inside the database, and you have your attribute data inside the database. Just close it. So now if we go under this database, schemas, public, let me show you. Okay, this is tables. As you can see, this is world COVID data is your attribute data. This is country data. So you can rename this, and these are the fields. You can rename anything here. These are the columns. So you can rename, and you can delete the unnecessary fields or here from here. If you want to see any row, you can just make like this. View edit data, first 100 rows, so you can see how your data looks like. This is your data. This is the data. Yes, it is loading. So this is the data, as you can see here. And where is your geometry field? This is our geometry field in the last. So if I click on the geometry field, it will show you the shape of that also. This is the okay, first 100 rows, because we have seen, that's why. So you can click here, you can get the information also. This is the new feature in the latest version. You can, geometry viewer is there. Okay, so you can rename any field, click properties, you can rename field according to you. After that, you can rename this name also from here, properties. Okay, like here, this is columns also. From here also you can rename. Here also you can rename this table name. So these are all things you can do. So, and second data is the world COVID data. Here you can see this data also, first 100 rows. So what I will do, basically, for this whole database, I will take a backup of it, and I will give the link in the description, so you can just directly come here and you can restore the database. Like, it's very easy to restore the data. After creating a database, just you have to right click here, and there is an option for restore, and that backup file which I will share, just make just select that file from here and just click restore. So those two tables will be restored in the database. Two tables will be created. So I have already basically uploaded, and already I have changed the name and the column name, everything. So I will give the backup of this only, like tables. As you can see, I have renamed countries, this world COVID data, and also I kept only necessary field only here. Similarly, in this data also, I have renamed it properly, like total cases, daily cases, total cases, daily cases, up to this is a cumulative up to particular date. This is daily cases, like this. So now we are done with the data part. So now we have data, we have web server installed, and we have our data inside the database. Now we'll see next what we have to do. And also, let me show you some of the queries which you can run here. Let me show. Like, this is the COVID database. Just let me close this queries first. Now I'll show you what Postgis can run. Basically, you can just select here query tool. So you can write a simple query. Select star from. Select star means select all the columns from. You can give the table name. Table was countries. Okay, select star from countries. Here, country name equal to India. So now it will select only all the fields of for where country is India. So as you can see here, only India is selected. If you make it like or country equal to Russia, let us see. So country, okay, country name, the field name is wrong, country name is Russia. So now it has selected two things, and then similarly you can this one, it has selected two things, Russia and this. Okay, and let me make it China, so it is nearby India. Again you can see the geometry viewer here. In the end you can go, you can select geometry. These are the two geometries. So like this you can run n number of queries here. Okay, so now what we'll do, basically we'll run some kind of query from here, and this data we will visualize onto the web directly. So in between, earlier we were using the Geoserver for that. Our data, we are pushing the data inside the Geoserver, and then Geoserver doing the thing for us for converting parsing the data in the GeoJSON or any format, WMS, WFS. But right now we have to do that thing. So for that, what we will do, basically we will use some kind of backend programming JSP. Also you can run buffer also. Let me show you. st buffer, if you type postgis buffer, so I'll show you how to run a buffer also. This is the Postgis buffer. So you just click here, the st buffer is the query, so you can run a buffer also. I'll show you how to create a buffer. Just so n number of queries are there, intersection query, buffer, st area, st length, so many are there. So I'll run a pretty simple one. This one I will run. This is the query. So let me just instead of star, I will run this st, select st buffer. Here instead of this, what I will do, I will run geom. Geom is the geometry column. As you can see here in my this one, the geometry column name is geom. This countries, this is geom. So whatever name is there, you have to give that name here. In this example on the web, what it is giving, it is giving the point. It is giving the basically geometry in the text format, geom from text. So it is converting geometry from the text, like point 119 let long or something, and then it is creating the buffer out of it. Similarly for the line, it is giving line string, the coordinate of it, then geometry, it is creating the geometry from the, so it is in two queries. First it is creating the geometry from the text, then it is creating a buffer around. So right now we have geometry already in our table, so no need to do this thing. St-geom from text, directly will use the geometry column. So that's why I have written geometry here. This 50 is the basically size of the buffer. If your coordinate system is in meters, planimetric coordinate system, then you can write this will be in meter. Right now we are using 4326, this is in degrees. So if I write 5 means 5 degrees, around 5 into 100 kilometer kind of thing. So now we will run this. Let us see how our, so st buffer geom, let us see whether we will be able to create a buffer or not. So now we'll go to this one. So now you see it has created a buffer of 5 degrees. around the country. So like this you can run n number of queries, but this is the thing. This is the basically now it is creating the buffer out of, but we have to convert this into the GeoJSON format so we can render it onto the web. So for that I think what we can do, st as GeoJSON is the query name as I remember, I don't know, let me try this. So further it will, what it will do, it will convert this geometry, buffer geometry, to st as GeoJSON. Let me check on the internet. Yes, st as GeoJSON is this one. So if I run this query, this is the format, type, polygon, coordinate. So this is the GeoJSON format which it is giving output. So now we will be able to render this over the internet. So we have done nothing. We have taken a geometry, we have created a buffer out of it, and then we have created a STJSON. So if you do not want to create buffer, simply just to make it like this, like this. If you run this, so for the simple geometry, it will create the GeoJSON, STJSON geometry. So this geometry column. So right like this, you can, for any on the web, if you want to do any geospatial processing, intersection, buffer, clip, so many queries are there in Postgres. You can execute any query and you can put it on the web. So now for doing that, this query we want to run onto the web. So for that, what we will do, we will have to do some kind of backend programming. So we'll create Java server pages for that. So for that, one more thing we have to do, we have to download the driver for the JDBC driver of this PostgreSQL, and we have to copy those jar file inside the Tomcat. So basically we want to connect to the, our application is in the Tomcat, and we want to, from Tomcat we want to connect to the our database. So for that, one thing we have to do, just go on the Google, type Postgres JDBC driver. So you just click here, download. So there are the drivers. You can click here, Postgres JDBC driver. You can download it, 42.3. Just keep it. So like this, you can download. So many are there drivers. So this is the jar file we have downloaded. I have already downloaded it. I have already on the, I think somewhere here in the folder. This is something. Yeah, this is the jar files. So these are the two. Actually, I have downloaded two. So you need not to download two. Only anyone can work. Latest one, like 42.3.0 is the latest one. You can download the latest one also, no problem. Just after that, we have to copy this in the Tomcat folder. So go in this PC, sorry, my computer, see program files, Apache Tomcat, and here this is the version which I have downloaded. Inside it, lib, and here just copy paste. So this jar file has been, you have pasted it in the folder, lib folder. After that, we have to restart our Tomcat. Just stop the service of Tomcat and then again start. So using this jar file, we will be able to make a connection to our database from the Tomcat. And again, we will start it. So yeah, I think so. Now first I will create a very small application, very small web page. In that I will show you how to render the data from the database onto the WebGIS. So for that, what we will do inside the Tomcat only, after copy paste these jar files, Tomcat and the web apps, I will create a very small new folder called what should I give? Test app. Okay, this is our test app. And now I will open VS Code. So first I will create a very small, very simple application. then that COVID application, I will not code the entire thing. I will break that application into parts, and then I will explain the code. So but this small application will help you in basically putting your data from the database onto the, let me close this. So let me first we'll open a folder, and we'll go to the same folder, PC, where inside the web apps of Tomcat, C drive, and program files, Apache, this is the Tomcat web apps and test app. So now just select folder and open it. Okay, so this is our app now. So what we'll add, first we'll create a basic HTML page. First create a new file and just give a name of test. You can give index.html also. I will give test.html. Okay, this is fine. This is our test HTML. So I will write. So now this is the basic HTML page. You give title test app. I will give, sorry. So I will write here test app. Okay, now this is basic HTML page. So I'll save it, and if I run this page, let me run localhost. So I've installed on 8085 port, just slash, and inside the web apps we have created test app folder dash test.html. So now we should be able to see our, so now as you can see, this is the blank page. You can see test app. So this is the name. So I think this is fine now. So now what we will do, we will import the Openlayers API first. Just go on Google, type Openlayers and enter it. So instead of downloading it, what we will do, we will use the API directly from the internet. Already it has been hosted, so you can download it and you can keep it. What you can do, you can download and you can keep inside this test app folder, and also you can give the link. But right now I will show you, I will use directly from the internet hosted application. You just go on the quick start here, this one. So I will use these two things. I just copy this. Okay, this is this. And then second one is this. So first we have imported the style. Then we have imported the JavaScript.js file. So two things we have imported here directly. Otherwise, as I told you, you can download the basically you can download it from here. I can go back. You can download from here and you can save that into, see here, I could have copied it from here also directly, posted build for development directly. Otherwise you could have downloaded it from here, and then you can also copy it here, and then you can give the link of those files. Okay, but right now similarly we have used this hosted one also, like this. You can copy from here and then you can copy paste directly without, like they are saying, if you want to try out Openlayers without downloading, not recommended for production, they are saying, because production I think you should download and then you can put your inside your folder and then you can. So now we have imported the Openlayers API. Now inside the body, what we have to do, we will create a basically HTML element. This is the new HTML element we will create, and we will give the name to it. I will give id is equal to map or class equal to map. So this is a new div we have created, HTML element you have created. So we will render our map into this only. Okay. After that, we'll create one more file here, style.css file. This is style.css. So this is file. So here we have created this id is equal to map. So here we will give here hash map. So we will define it basically. Okay. Position. Position is absolute, and you can give the width and height of the map also. Width is 100%, and similarly height also you can give 100%. If you want to give border and everything, then also. So basically we are styling. You can control the style of that HTML div from here. You can increase and decrease the width. So just save it. I'll save it. So I think this is fine now. And now we will import this also now here, like this. Link CSS here. This is the link style.css, because we have to import this style also into the map. So we have imported it. This is fine. href style.css. This is the file. So inside the folder, if you go here, we have style.css, test.html. Now we have to create a JavaScript code only. So we'll create a new file, map.js. Okay, this is the map.js file. So here we'll write the code. So what I will do, I will copy and paste this very small code pretty quickly. Let me see this also. So now this under the map.js, we'll copy paste this pretty simple code. This is our view, map view. Here first we will create the map view, Openlayers, oval.view. This is the projection of the code. This is the center of the map. This is the zoom, how much zoom is there. Then we'll add base map. This is the OSM and satellite base map. These are the two base maps which we will add onto our this OSM base map, then satellite base map. Two base map we will add, and then we will make a layer group of it. This is the layer group, pretty simple layer group we have. So we will basically group these two base map, like OSM and satellite. These two we have grouped here, oval.layer.group. And after that we'll create one more layer group called overlays, but this will be empty, because right now we are not adding any overlays. So we will let it be empty. Later on we will add one layer here from the database, and then finally we will create a map, and then we'll map.add layer overlays, map.add layer base map. So this is our pretty basic one. See this map.add layer base map, map.add overlays. So our base map, we should be able to see the two base map. Now just save it. Also one thing, we have to import here our this one. Here just go to write map.js. So we have to make it a here also, like class equal to map. So now we have imported this map.js also. So our folder, if you see, we'll have now map.js file, CSS file, style file, and HTML file. So now we will just see how our map looks like here. So now we are able to see the base map of satellite, but we are not able to switch between the layers, and we are not able to switch on switch off the layers. So for that, what we will do, again we will import one more API. We'll type open layers third party plugin. Useful third party libraries Openlayers. We'll click here. Here there is an option called Open Layer Switcher Matte Walker. This one, you just click here. So here also we will directly use without downloading, but for production, as they have written, you should download and then you can just import. So like here, I will copy from here, copy this, and we will import here the scripts. So this is, I think, JavaScript, and this one for style. So now this is okay, but now after that on our map.js we have to add the layer switcher here also. After that we will add the layer switcher. So I will copy this from this page, layer switcher. This is the layer switcher we have. Okay, VS Code. So we have created a view here, very simple view. Then we have created a base layer. Then we have created a layer group of base, layer group of overlay, then map, and then we have layer switcher. Just save it. So now we should be able to see a layer switcher also in our map. So as you can see, now you can switch on switch off between the OSM and satellite. It's pretty easy. So now we have everything ready. Very simple web page, base layer. Now we have to fetch the data from the database to here. We have to overlay the data, the same data which is stored in this COVID database, and these kind of query we have to run like GeoJSON. So I will show you how to do that. For that we have to create basically you can say a JSP page here. Just create new, let me just create a text document, and I will give a name GeoJSON.JSP, and I will, yes, GeoJSON layer. I will keep this like this. Okay, so I will open it with the Notepad++. So first I will show you the base. This is the page code. I will copy this and I will paste, then I will explain it. What is this basically? So in that page, this page is basically what it will do. It will run a query and it will parse it into a GeoJSON format. So first of all, as you can see, these drivers, so which we have downloaded the PostgresQL driver, that will be used. Otherwise, if you have not copied that driver, so this you will not be able to run this query, this Java server page. It will give an error. So first of all, this is the driver. This is the localhost 127.0.1. You can write localhost over here. This is the port of where you have stored the database, 5433 in my case. In your case, it may be 5432. This is the database which you are accessing. This is the COVID database. You can change it if you have renamed it something different. Then this is the username. This is the password which we have given while installing it. Then this is you are creating a new connection like st my connection dot create statement. This is the new connection, my connection, and driver manager dot get connection. This is the URL, username, password. So basically you are creating the connection to the database. After that you are creating a statement. So this is the query. Whatever query you want to run on the database, you just type it here. Like we have written select st GeoJSON, simply like this. I will copy this query, because we don't want to, we have to make it as a st as GeoJSON. That's why we need in GeoJSON format only. That's why we are doing. So I will copy paste this one here. Okay, this query I want to run. You need not to change anything, only this here, this database username password you have to change this, and this query according to your need. After that, this part is basically, it is creating a GeoJSON format. The feature collection, feature, geometry properties, you need not to change anything. it will run this query and it will create a GeoJSON file. I will show you how. I just save it here first. After that, what you have to add one more layer here. We'll add a vector layer. Let me show you this. This is the layer. I will copy paste this here. So as you can see, GeoJSON is my new layer, new ol.layer vector, source is vector, and here this is the URL. So what you can do, just if it is in the same folder, like in our case it is in the same folder, so you need not to give this link localhost 8085 test. Otherwise you can give like this also, localhost 8085 test app underscore. Otherwise you can change it to like this only, GeoJSON underscore your GSP file name. Okay, this is the GeoJSON underscore layer.jsp file. So this is the URL. Basically you have to give where the GeoJSON format is, from where it is coming, then new ol.format GeoJSON. After that it will basically zoom to the features, and then overlays.getLayer.pushGeoJSON. It is pushing the this GeoJSON layer inside the GeoJSON, like here inside this overlays it will push. Now just save it. Now we should be able to see. Let us see. So now you can see two layers, two boundaries are coming. This is China, this is India. So in whatever query you run now, whatever, you just change that. Like here, instead I will write a st buffer now. st underscore buffer buffer geo comma 50. Oh sorry, one more, we have to close. Instead of 50, let it go for 5. So now it will create a buffer also. If you just copy this here and you paste that in this one here, so now it will show you the different layer. Just paste, just save it, and again you run this. As you can see, it has created a buffer of it. So this is a pretty simple page. You can make it dynamic also. You can create a drop down here. You can give the multiple layer and select, then you can give the how much buffer, 1 2 3 4 value, then you can pass that value onto that URL, on this URL, basically this URL. So it will take the value that to that URL and it will put inside here. You can make it dynamic and it will create a buffer there. So I'll show you how to pass the variable onto the URL, and then you can import those variable in the JSP page. So this is the sample page for creating a GeoJSON format. You put any query here, it will create in GeoJSON format. So let me show you how GeoJSON looks like. So if you run here GeoJSON underscore layer.jsp, this page if you run, so you should be able to see the GeoJSON format. This is the GeoJSON format. So from the database we have converted the data into this format. In this format, using the Openlayers API, it is showing in the map format like this. You can select STGeoJSON. After that you can make it like this also. Any other field you can select. Let me just show you. Country name also. So now under this property, country name should also come. So you can call the attribute instead of shape also, you can call the attributes. So now country name India is coming, as you can see here. Earlier it was not there because it is creating a buffer, and then also it is fetching this name also, country name, because here in this table if you see there are other fields, country name. So you can select multiple, just run this. Okay, this is wrong, country. So now you can see here, second column should be country name. This is the country name. So like this, what you can do, you can even join also. So in our COVID application, we will join the data. We have text data in one table and we have geographic data in one table. So we will join that based on the variable and dates. So like this, this page GeoJSON layer.jsp page, it is basically parsing the data into this GeoJSON format, and we are using putting this we are copying paste this, and we are just putting this URL here. So directly here, and then we are able to visualize the so like this data is coming. So now this is our very base application. What I will do, I will make a zip of this app also, and I will upload it in the Google Drive, and then I will share the link. So you can use this base also and you can modify it. Now we will see how our another application, the whole COVID application looks like. So let me just this is the whole folder of COVID-4. I will copy this folder. So I will not gonna code this whole, but I will just give a I will just explain this code, okay, fully. Control C, and we will paste this here in Tomcat, Apache Tomcat web apps, and here only we will paste this directly. And I will just rename it to COVID dash. Now we will open folder this COVID dash. So I will delete the unnecessary file from here. I will delete this. Whatever unnecessary file are there, I will delete those. This one I'll delete, this one I'll delete, this one I will delete. Okay, these are the unnecessary files. Only relevant files are there right now. So this is the JSP files. All the JSP which we are fetching the data from the, like there is point, this is partial GeoJSON level point. So let me open our COVID dashboard now. COVID dash slash covid.html. So this is our data. So there are two layers are there. So for one is circle, one is polygon. So for basically both these two, I've created two JSP pages. Then this is for graphs, cumulative graph, world graph, this is for graph, and this is for counter. Counter means these counters. So for this counter we are getting the data. For these two graphs we are getting the data. For these two layers we are getting the data, and this for legend. So for all these we are fetching the data from the database. So let me close this now, and I will show you one by one our page. So first of all, our basic page is COVID HTML. This is our basic page here. So as you can see here, we have used the Bootstrap first. This is the Bootstrap. So from internet, you just go on the internet, type Bootstrap, just go click Bootstrap here. Instead of downloading it, I have taken it directly from the internet, just like the other APIs, like from here, JS deliver. You just copy this one, and put it here onto the simple HTML page. Here I've copied it here. Let me close it. Then this is the open layers. I have already shown you from where you can get open layers. Just go on here, open layers. Okay, quick start, or even no need to go to quick start. You can directly click here, and from here you can get it here. This one, these two, you can copy these two CSS and JS file, and then you can paste it here. Then this is these two. This is a layer switcher, third-party plugin, which I already shown you from where I have got it. You type on open layers, third-party plugin. So you just go here, over layer switcher. I think this one only. Just click here, and here, from here I have copied it from there. Just copy one thing here, one time here, and just paste it here. So we have imported Bootstrap, open layers, layer switcher. Then this is Jquery and Chart.js. Two more things we will import APIs. Just go on Google, type Jquery. Here there is an option for CDN. Just click on the CDN, and you just click here minified version, and you can copy from here. Just copy this script and just import here. Okay. Then similarly for the Chart.js. Chart.js is for basically chart and all, creating charts. Chart.js. Here you can click here. I don't know from where. Getting started. I think if you go this use chart.js.cdn, you click here. So you will be able to get this one. You can copy from here. So this is the source. You can copy from here also. This is the copy URL, and then you can copy paste it here. So we have imported. I will delete this one. This. So first we have imported all the libraries which we're gonna use. Then we will define our HTML page. Pretty simple. Then first inside the body, this is the center COVID-19 dashboard. Basically, I will move it side by side. See, this is the first one, COVID-19 dashboard. Okay. So this is COVID-19 first element. Then second star. Then second element is this drop down. This element. This is up to this one. This is the whole element. This one. So three things are there: start date, end date, and this drop down is there. So the start date, end date. Why it is opening every time? Yeah. Start date, end date, then parameter. And parameter is having cases, deaths, test, vaccination. This is spelling. These values, the spelling I have given similarly as I have in my database data. So I'll make it dynamic. Whatever you select here will pass these value onto the JSP page, and it will run the query on the database, and then fetch the value. So this value I have taken from here: deaths, cases, test, and vaccination. This spelling is similar to that only. After that, this is the counter. 4 button I have created: button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4. This is the different div. Okay, this is the div, and 4 different buttons are there. After that, this div is for map, I think. Okay, I'm opening it every time. Yeah. Now just close it here. Then this is the graph 1, graph 2. This is the canvas. So for this graph 1, graph 2, then after that, this is for map. This is map. This one is map, and inside map we have created a legend. Actually, this map inside we have created a legend. So inside map, this is the map. Inside there is a legend, and inside the legend again these are the colors and these are text values. So for each different, this is different div, like this is for legend, then for symbol, then this is the legend text, and then font size, everything. So inside this legend, again there is one element. Inside there two things are there. One is the symbol, one is the text. So this is the legend, then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 classes are there. So 6 div are there. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 div are there, and in individually 7 div, two things are there. Okay, text is there and then color is there. So this is for the legend, and this finally is this is for pop-up. Okay, this pop-up and info is basically when you click on the map here, you will get the values inside the pop-up and this will change. So this is for pop-up here. And after that we have different Java. This is a JavaScript code, simple map, load layer, click info, click JS. So we have four. The map.js is very simple map. The basic element will be there. This one, this layer switcher will be there. This layer should be there. These things will be there, and these and this load layer means whenever these things change, like death test, as you can see. So this layer is loaded every time. If you change it to confirmed cases, again the layer. So for that function, this load layer.js file is there. Then click info and click graph are two different functions. Whenever you are clicking onto the map, two things are happening. One thing is this pop-up is aiming, it is selecting this feature, and also this graph will change. Like for China, it is showing right now between these dates. For Australia, so two things are happening. So for these two, click info onto the map, what is the information in the pop-up in this graph. So these are the four .js file, and also the styling part. There is the div HTML elements, but the style is contained in style.css. Basically this one. If I click here, this is the style for map, top, drop down. Okay, start date, end date, parameter, graph 1, graph 2, 2 graphs, then legend title, legend text, class 6. These are the 6 classes. These are the colors. So these colors are similar to this only, which I have defined in the map. I will show you map.js file. So class 4, all the classes, then pop-up. This is the style for the pop-up. The style file contains, you can change the style, you can change the color according to you by modifying this file. Now we'll go for the basic map.js. So these three things are for, these are for pop-up. This is the overlay. It is adding the overlay to the map on which pop-up is created. After that, this is dot parameter change load layer. So whenever you are changing the parameter, your start date and end date, it is calling this function load layer. Load layer is this. So it will change the map. So whenever you are changing these three things, any of these things, suppose I will change this to June. So you see, it will change the map and graphs. So it is calling that function. You change this, so it will change. So it will call this function load layer. I will explain what is inside the load layer. First, I will explain the basic, simple OL view, then base layer, satellite and OSM, and then overlays. It is empty right now, no layer is there. Then map, new map, map.add layer, base map, map.add layer, overlays, then layer switcher. Pretty simple map which I have shown you earlier. This is the mouse position, overview, full screen, zoom in, zoom out. This is a slider. These sliders up to full extent. Okay, this is the mouse cursor is there. So it's a pretty basic things. And after that, I'm calling this map dot on click. Whenever you are clicking onto the map, like here, so it will call two functions, click.info, click.graph. So basically this function and this function it will call. The function is inside these two files. Whenever I click on the map and whenever I will change these three things, start date, end date and parameter date. Start date, end date and parameter. So it will call load layer. So first we'll see what is inside the load layer. Just double click this. So as we'll change this, so what it will do, it will first destroy the line graph and bar graph, because whenever we change, old graph should replace. It will destroy this, it will destroy the layers also, GeoJSON layers. So as we have defined, okay, these are the GeoJSON layer, two GeoJSON layer, one is point and one is the polygon one. Then after that it will fetch the values of start date, end date and parameter, fresh values, whatever you have changed here or here, it will take the fresh values and it will store in a variable. Then these are the JSP pages it will call. So every time you will, when you will change this thing, this date and everything, so what it will do for this particular parameter between these two dates, it will calculate the maximum value. What is the maximum value for particular date? And from 0 to that, it will divide that into seven classes. So that maximum value it will fetch from the database. So this is the URL max JSP file max value partial.jsp. It will call this JSP page which is inside here, this one, max values partial. So let me show you. And what we are doing, we are passing the variables start date, end date, let me show you, start date, end date and value parameter. So these with this URL max, we are passing these three values which we have stored in the variable. So these values are passing on to the JSP page here. See, this similar page is there, you are connecting to database. This is the query you are running, maximum sum. So it is calculating the maximum between those two dates for that particular. So this is how you fetch the request.get parameter. Then here date 1, request.date 1, date 2. So these are the parameters passing, date 1, date 2 and parameter, and these are the values from it is taken from here. So like this, and after that what it is giving, it is giving it a maximum value out of it. Let me show you how it will give. So if I go to this page, see, nothing will happen. Okay, first inside there is a folder called JSP files 1. Now nothing will happen because this parameters value has not been passed. So that's why we have passed like this URL point. This is the way to pass the variable on with the URL. So we will write simply like this only. Parameter is equal to cases and date 1 equal to 01/01/2020. Okay, and 01/01/2020. Now it should show you some value. Okay, and date 2, sorry, this should be date 2 is equal to now this is the maximum value it has fetched from the database. So between these two dates and these cases, it has taken the maximum value from the database. And then after 0 to I'll show you this GeoJSON URL max. This is the URL max. This is the URL max. So get GeoJSON URL max. It has fetching the data as data.maximum 0.max. So basically data.maximum.max 0 means only one entry is there. So this is the maximum value. After that I am dividing it to divide by 7, then different colors. So 7 different colors I have already given. This is the RGB code for that. 1 2 3 4, as you can see, color 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 colors I have already given. On based on that I will explain this. What is this? This is the way to style the vector layer in Openlayers. And after that it is running the basically loop 7 times. Okay, then value parameter is greater than this and value parameter is less than this. Basically for I is equal to 0, and different. This is also difference is basically divided by 7. If this feature dot get value parameter means whatever parameter you have selected, death or vaccination, so if greater than particular value and less than this value, so it will give that color I, this color. Then when I is equal to 1, I is equal to 2, I is equal to 3, so it will create 7 different colors for between 7 different values like this. Okay, so this is the way to basically get the maximum value from the database. And also 2 other URLs are there, as you can see here. This one, not this one, this one. This is simple as a GeoJSON one. This is nothing different as earlier I have shown you. Simple. Only this is the query. Only we are passing the parameter and date 1, date 2. Simply. So here what we are doing, here we are joining. As you can see, we are joining the database. You are joining the 2 tables. First we are fetching this. We are creating a sum of daily data between here. Suppose you have selected suppose you have selected between these two to this date, this one confirmed cases. So what it will do here, it will basically take the daily value for all the days between these two dates, and it will make a sum of it, like sum daily. This is the parameter it is passing, daily underscore, because here daily death, daily cases. So it will replace this parameter which we have selected on the drop down. Okay, between these date and this date. So first it will select from one table, from basically this table. It will select between the date this table, and it will join it with the country, with the country name. So here, as you can see, selected on where selected dot country name is equal to countries dot country name. So country is having the shape geographic data of that country, and we have joined it based on the country name, like select dot selected parameter select country name st GeoJSON st simplify. Basically we have generalized the data so that it will not be having so many nodes, so it will be pretty much lighter from countries. Okay, so basically it is joining based on the country name, joining 2 table. So if I copy this, if I run this here, I'll show you how it will look like. Instead of this parameter, you can write any parameter name, suppose cases. Select some daily cases. Like this daily cases, as we'll write cases, country name from world where date 1 is greater than, we have to write some date here, 01/01/2020, and date 2 01/01/2021. Okay, so if I run this, okay, there is one error. Let me just make this error. I will delete this thing. Fine. So now you see what it has done. It has taken the country name, and this is taken the geometry from the country shapefile, and it has created a sum from between these 2 dates of the daily cases. So it has joined basically two tables. See, it has selected st GeoJSON countries.geo from countries, left join, select some daily cases sum between these two dates from world COVID data, where date is this, and it has joined based on the country name. So only we have what we have done here, we have just make this dynamic. These value we have passed. So if I copy this here and I'll paste it here like this, and I will pass parameter is equal to DEA death and date 1 equal to 01052020 and date 2 equal to 06062021. So as you can see now, this is the GeoJSON format. It is fetching between these two dates for death parameter. So this is rendered as a, let me show you how it will be rendered. So this is rendered as a point, and radius is based on the value of the, so like this we have created the data in GeoJSON format. So like this, simply this is for point and this is for polygon. And after that, using this maximum value, these are the style we have created, two styles. This is for one, this is already 7 colors we have given here, and one by one we are assigning it. And here this one, vaccination test, and this one this is for legend. Here it is changing this value, no legend changing every time you change this, so this value will change. Now as you can see, this value will change. So this is here, this is changing from this is the ID of the HTML element, and math.round divided by, it is just giving that. And also legend title, it is changing based on this. Now it is death. If you select it to confirmed cases, it will make it COVID cases like this. So these two, and this is for these 3 lines are for changing the legend one. So we are using Jquery for that. Jquery we have used for this only. And this is for I think, okay, this is for polygon is fine. Then this get style 2 is for this radius, basically this one, this circle radius based on the value. Here this is, so it is changing the radius based on the value I plus 1, basically 7 times, it is 5 times it is making I 0 1 2 3 4 5, and this is the value parameter, means death or cases or anything. So it is creating a 7 radius different. If you uncomment this, so it will add label also. So I will not adding label because it will be too congested. Otherwise it will label also based on the parameter feature dot, it will give the country name also, and whatever is the value of the parameter it will give. So it will not label. If you wish to label, you just remove this, uncomment this txt, this one. Okay, now this is our finally layer. One is the GeoJSON layer, this is the URL poly, and this is the polygon, and then second one is GeoJSON point, URL is URL point. So these two URL we have already defined here, URL point, URL poly. Okay, and after that we will simply add this get layers, will push inside this render panel. Then this is for graphs. Again, for graph we are creating a JSP file, cumulative graph, then we are passing these values to it, and this is a way to create a graph here. This is we have used. Similarly, GeoJSON.url, this URL we are passing, and we are getting the data in the GeoJSON format. I'll show you how. And this is the chart data, and this is the chart, my canvas 1, and this one my canvas 1. This is the one chart data is the chart data here. Basically this one, this is the chart data. Data is score. Basically we have defined here, if you see, From this URL, it will fetch the GeoJSON data. This is the 3 empty arrays, then data.push data I.date, then value parameter. So this is how we define that chart using the chart.js library, and we'll display it. So let me show you how data will look like. Suppose this, I will pass this one. Okay, where is that? This one. So I will simply copy paste this one, and value is fine. Okay, COVID dash, I have to make a, so this is, again it is fetching the data, date, death, date, death. This is the cumulative graph. So if you make it daily, so it will give a daily value, date, deaths, date, death. So 2 graphs we have created here, and we have passed on this link. This is the cumulative graph, and this is the function. It is passing the URL, it is fetching the JSON data, then again it is creating graph from here. This is the graph number 1. Okay, and this is the graph, daily graph, again another URL, again another JSP file, another graph. So 2 graphs we are creating here. Similarly, we have 2 JSP files here. See, 2 JSP files for GeoJSON layers for map, and 2 for graph world cumulative, graph world daily. Okay, and this for maximum value already we have seen. Now these for counters also we have similarly 2 JSP file. This is the counter world. You pass this one here, so it will give you the, and we are these are the cases, death, test are the buttons. We are passing on the values onto the buttons simply. Here if I type this now here, you see this is the counter between these 2 dates, how many death, how many cases for whole world, and again simply we are putting those values here. Okay, so this is for load layer. Whenever we change anything onto the map, on those 3 things, it will change these counters, these graphs, this map, and this legend. And finally, after this, click info and click graph. Whenever we click on the map here, map.js, I have already told you, whenever we will click here, it will call this function click info event. So just go on the click info, it will create a layer, because as you can see, when we click anywhere, it will create the pop-up, and it will highlight the feature also here. See here, it will highlight the feature also. So here it is creating a new highlight style whenever we are clicking. Okay, this is the highlight style, and this is the feature overlay. This is the another vector for highlighting the feature in the blue color. And again is saying if feature is there, then geometry, get the coordinate where you have clicked it, then this is the pop-up. Inside that you have you are basically putting the country name and the COVID cases. So there's the same thing, this country name, then value of the parameter for that particular country. Simple COVID, death means death, cases, it will accordingly it will change. If you select here death, so it will, whenever you click here, it will change it to the COVID death. COVID death. Now when you change it to the tests, it will change the COVID tests. Okay, so this is for the pop-up, whatever matter is inside the pop-up only. So this is for only click info, whatever information you have to put in the pop-up and how the pop-up is created. This function is for that. Then click graph means it will destroy the line graph, bar graph, and again it will fetch the value, country name. It will fetch the country name also, on which country you have clicked on, start date, end date, parameter, value parameter. Now one extra thing you have to pass on to the URL, parameter date 1, date 2 and country also. So simply if you go inside this, you will find graph cumulative. This is world cumulative. Okay, this is for world. When you click, it should be go to the country. So this is the query we are running for that, and this is for graph world daily. Graph country cumulative is fine. Graph country cumulative, this one. So here simply this query only we have to replace. This parameter is replacing death from world COVID data. This simply. So if I show you, you have to pass one extra thing only. This one, and here you have to pass one extra thing, and country is equal to, suppose for India, we'll see. So it will create for India date wise how many deaths are there, whether it is cumulative. If you make it simply daily, so it will give the daily values here. And only there is a difference of query only. If you go and if you see these queries, select daily. In daily one, country cumulative only, this is total underscore, this is the parameter. Otherwise everything will be same. From this table, between date is greater than date and country name is equal to order by date. So this is a simple query which we are running. Like simple query, if I run here, so now as you can see here, it has selected daily cases on particular day for their particular country. So you can select here date also and country name also, like this. So this query we are running, as you can see here in this same query, was we are passing this dynamic values here, variable and date 1, date 2, and we are parsing this data as a here like this simply. So this is the cumulative graph. Again we are using this Jquery. We are passing this URL, fetching the data, and this is the graph 1, graph 2, daily graph, and then counter also we are updating again. Simple. This is the counter we are updating, and for this counter also there is, this is the JSP page. Pretty simple query will be there for this. So like daily sum, daily death, daily as vaccination from world data, only day for that particular date 1 and date 2. This is, so basically these are our JSP page which we have used, and this is final, I think. So this is the whole folder. What I will do, this COVID 1 HTML and style 1 CSS is nothing basically. This is just different arrangement what I have done here. I'll show you. Simply if I open this COVID 1 HTML, so the arrangement is different. The map will be like this. It's a bigger one. You can switch on, switch off from layer from here also, like this. And the graph will be here. If your screen is pretty big, so this you will like this also. So that's why style 1 this style1.css and COVID is for COVID 1 HTML, and the style.css for COVID.html page. So I think, as you can see here, you can see the value of particular day also like this. One more thing extra can be done whenever you click on this particular day, so this map will update for that thing can also be done. So you can click here, that graph will update, everything is updating. You can see the counter for that particular country is updating wherever you're clicking, USA. So what I will do, I will make a zip file of this whole page, this COVID dash, this one, and test app also, both things. So only you have to install the Tomcat. You have to copy those jar files which we have shown. I will make those jar files also inside the zip. just copy paste this whole folder inside your Tomcat, and just you have to modify only these things inside each and every JSP page. You have to modify this database name and this username, password, and this port number. And this database, I will make a what I will do, I will make a backup of this. So what you have to do, you have to follow 2-3 steps. First, this backup, just restore this, create new database, and just right click over it and just restore and select the backup database. So you can restore first, then you can install the Tomcat. Inside, just copy paste this dash folder and those jar files also copy paste in the lib file, and then you can just run this page. So you'll be able to, and using this page, basically you can modify this portal and you can use it for, suppose you have a temperature data, time series temperature data, that also you can do. You have rainfall data in vector in any tabular format, so you can do that also. And also this simple page, which using this simple page also you can take a help. You can create a more geoprocessing functions of PostGIS, such as basically intersection, also clipping, all these things you can do. So I think this video is pretty long, and I hope you will be able to understand all this about JSP and everything, because this is that's why I have given this basic page also. So you can make up, first you can create a basic page to get an understanding of it, then you can see this COVID dashboard. So I will attach all these data inside my Google Drive, and I will give the link in the description. So guys, that's it, I think, from this video, and I hope this video will help you in understanding, because a lot of people in the comment were asking for me to make a video on developing the WebGIS using the Postgis and Openlayers only, without any GIS server, without any dependency of the Geoserver and anything. So it's I hope this will help you. So if you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Please, in the comment section, you can ask if you are facing any problem. I'll try to reply to most of the comments. And also please subscribe to the channel. I have seen in my analytics that around 85% of people who are watching my videos have not subscribed. Please subscribe the channel. It will motivate me further to upload the video. So thank you. Thanks for watching.